silhouetted images and industry teasers are finding their way into our homes and invading our minds. Their calculated information is delivered to feed our addiction for radio-controlled frequencies. It's an RC conspiracy. But we are on your side, cracking the RC code. Because the truth is out there. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast. Get your decoder rings ready and put on those tinfoil hats because your fearless leader is here. Please welcome your host, the lead RC Conspiracist, Tony Cece. Tony Cece. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Been a while since we've done one of these. What can I say? It's been a busy while. But we're going to do it, and we're going to have fun because I've got some little teaser images from Team Corelli on something new that they're cooking up for us. Roadside RC. Troy, what's going on, man? Good to see you. This past weekend, met Troy for the first time. I was super busy. You can ask Troy. I was super busy. I didn't get to hang out and just chat with people as much as I wanted to. But I was there working, so I was keeping busy and trying to get as much in as I could as far as footage wise. And there was a lot to capture. So so a couple things. We had a live stream just the other night, 2 nights ago, Pablo and I. You guys should check it out if you haven't already. On there, I did tease the new products that we had come in. I did get one of them onto the website. So if you're looking for them, they're there. I'm trying to get the other stuff set up here as I'm going. Brass beadlock wheels are now on the site. So you can get you some over at ccxrc.com. They're shipping 140 grams of weight, you guys. They're super heavy. It's going to make my shipping costs go up. I should have thought about that. But I didn't change the shipping for them. So get them while you can and before I make a change on that. I got a bunch of other stuff on order, things that are out of stock. It's been insane. I've got a new servo coming, hopefully soon, the Mighty Eagle servos, and to complement the Mighty Chihuahua. But yeah, let's get to it. I got to pull up Facebook here. I want to pull up the Team Corelli site first because, that's where we first saw the little tidbits dropping about a couple hours ago. And then got our hands on some actual behind the scenes, not behind the scenes, but some sneak peek photos and stuff. What's up with all the animals? Kurtz RC says, well, the Mighty Eagle should make sense to people, right? Well, I could just call it the CCX RC 12KSWP, or it doesn't make sense to me. Like, to try and tell somebody what to go buy based on numbers is ridiculous. Like, it's so hard. It's like Axial calling their SCX 24s the AXL 00001 V2 T2. They don't call it that. They don't. There's a Jeep Wrangler edition. There's the Deadbolt edition. They don't give it the number version. But so many companies just give them stinking numbers, and I don't get it. So, I think animals are memorable, and it's funny to me. So I thought maybe the honest reason is I thought that maybe I'd make the Scale News update one day for my naming convention, and they'd question who I was and who's naming all of my parts, but that hasn't happened yet. So 5 o'clock in the morning, and Tony is live. Spin Rush RC Asuga. Isn't that a name in Japan? Is that maybe you would know? Maybe you have some insight into it. Is an eagle stronger than a chihuahua? Not in the chihuahua's mind. So no, it is not. I'd already named the chihuahua. Technically, if I were naming them based on strength, the eagle would be the better one. However, I had no eagle reference until October. And so I'd already named the servos the Chihuahua and the Honey Badger. And technically, a Honey Badger is probably stronger than a Chihuahua, too. So maybe all my naming convention is backwards and I flipped it on its head. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. So it's a Japanese name, right? Yeah. Do we know the price and the scale of the new Asuga yet? I know that it's bigger than 1/8 scale. I know that. I don't know the price yet. I'm pulling it up here. I'm getting distracted by the comments. Corelli, I'm going to Facebook. Carwile, Matt Carwile. No, not 2FMRC. We want Team Corelli. I got to make sure that I close out some of these chats and hope that they don't pop up. Maybe this is not the way to do it. Okay. Bigger than 1/8 and smaller than 1/6. That Swedish guy. That's what I was guessing. Now, that's going to be in buggy sizing because a 1/8 scale buggy compared to, like, say, a 1/8 scale other vehicle is smaller. And so I was looking at certain things. We'll pull up the pictures here. I posted them. Let me just do this. Sweden. Let's go to share screen. 42 people watching, only 6 thumbs up. It's the world we live in, Tank. I can't help these people. They don't know internet etiquette. It's just, I don't know. Wow, is that busy? I like that with the background being so busy. I'm glad I chose to do it that way because it just RC Conspiracies. It's supposed to just be a craziness. The graphics aren't supposed to be great. It's supposed to be this that you see here all around. I like it. All right, so the Swedish guy has known about the car for a year, but he can't say anything. But he already did. He said that is bigger than 1/8 scale and smaller than 1/6 scale. And in doing so, you have said something, and so you lie. Now, here it is. Here it is jumping. Asuga XLR. If we go before that, their tease hasn't been very long. They showed us this, and this is the curious part. It's got this little measuring stick here across the bottom with question marks on it, like what size will it be? And then they give us the A, and then there's not like an S and a whatever. It's just like Asuga XLR and a video. I thought they were going to like kind of play out the letters and a little bit of teases, but they didn't make us wait, and I like that. I like that about Team Corelli. I'm in a good mood today. I actually got 8 hours of sleep for the first time in a long time. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. That's a pretty big ramp they're jumping it off of, trying to scale it off the person in silhouette. Everything's in silhouette, shot into the sun. They don't want us to know, but they're launching it. All right, so I did get some teasers. So let's just pull these into here. Can I just drag them into here? That didn't work, but it gave us one of them. So 3 colors. The thing that I honed right into was the shock towers and the spacing on them. It kind of felt like maybe a Kronos or something size, but done as a buggy. I'm looking at the wing as well. very much like the Kronos XTR that I have. I don't know what the XLR means. Will this come with electronics? Is it going to be in that XTR range, or is it just XLR because it's big? It's the XL version. I'm kind of guessing that might be it. Not like for the toughness of it, like the XTR, but I don't know. I like the green and black a lot. I actually like all the colors. You can't go wrong with blue, green, or red, in my opinion. Throw in orange in the mix, that's another good color. But they do a lot of orange stuff, so I do like this. I like the green specifically. That's like my color green right there. Extra large rig, Spin Rush says. Black Sheep RC says, I just posted the teaser on my channel. Exciting news. So I think it's bigger than a Typhon, guys, because the Radix would have been about the Typhon size. So it's going to be bigger. But they kept the really cool buggy look to it. Roadside says I have to earn the thumbs up. They're not quite all the way to thumbs up yet. It's kind of neutral. It's not thumbs down though, so that's good. Or maybe there's a thumbs down. I don't know yet. I don't look at that. It says Basher spec only. Roadside RC says. Exo Caged RC says I will own one of these buggies for sure. I'll blast it around my track. He does have a great track. Swedish guy, so 1/7 ish. Yeah, or maybe it's a 0.5 in there, like a 1. Maybe they're even like crazier numbers. Like I can't do math right now. 8 hours of sleep isn't enough for math. I was gonna do like 3/16 or something, but that wouldn't work. So yeah, I don't know the pricing. I can't even tell again if it's going to come with electronics or not. If it's ready to run, or if it's going to be in that kind of build it yourself. I'm going to guess maybe ready to run, but I have no way of knowing because it's a different naming convention. If we look at some of their other stuff, let's look at a few more pictures because there's a couple of that kind of show a little bit more. One of the things I was looking at too is I was looking at going back to this, the size of these over here, those little twirly birds, and trying to use that as kind of a scale for reference, a reference for scale. I didn't go very far down that rabbit hole, but I did do that. So that did happen. It was very real. But there's nothing that really shows the scale. The tires look very similar to the Radix as well. But they had a teaser video and they look bigger than that. So even though they look like a similar wheel, it looked bigger. This is the shot that is specifically I looked at, like the shock, the spreading here, the spacing, and started wondering if those were parts that were already in play on the other vehicles that they have. So I wonder if it's kind of one of like those parts cars that we see that come out where it's creating a new buggy size by using parts from the Truggies and some of the other stuff and just making a bigger buggy. So those are questions that I have. That's not a bad thing, and I don't think in any way, because one, parts availability right out of the box. They're gonna have some parts available for it that you can get for upgrades on arms and things like that. You can see pillow ball suspension in there, CVDs up front, sway bars, things like that you can see just by looking at the photo. Again, very similar wing to the Kronos. Oh, it did pull them all up here. So I did have those. And then there's this jumping one, which doesn't really do much for us except show that they're sending it. So those are the images. And then there's a video, which I can pull up again. I'll go back to my page and we can look at my video, see if Team Corelli's posted anything new. They've been dropping teasers today, so we'll refresh it really quick. Still the same video. So we'll go over to my page and we'll see the video that they posted where it rolls in and blocks the view of the other one. So there's the Radix. And there's the new one. So it's hard to tell scale because it is pulling in front of, so it's closer to camera. But the lift off the ground is one thing I'm noticing. I'm thinking that's tires causing that for one. And if they're saying it is bigger between 1.6 and 1.8, that is going to have bigger wheels. The shock tower definitely more massive. But even if we just look at like the Radix on the Team Corelli page, let's go to their page. Well, let's just go here. Much smaller shock tower. It's below the front of the body here. So it's definitely bigger than the current car. But you can see how the wheels do look kind of similar. But when you see that shock tower sticking up there, I guess this wing is very similar as well. So I guess it'll come down to size on it. I can't see comments right now. It'd be awesome if it was really big. I mean, I can't tell. Have a look on YouTube, and there are a few bids of the Asuga next to the Radix 1.8. Okay, videos. Cricket Mitten RC, what's up? What's the King of RC's take on this? Well, it looks fast, but it's not a truck, so it's got one thing going for it, one thing against it already. What's up, Josh York? The RC Hotspot, how's it going? Oh, it's new parts. There might be a shop in Australia that has listed some parts, and there can be seen as new parts. Oh, dang. There's a picture of it on Big Squid, gives a better image. Man, the leaks are everywhere today. Big Squid keeping up. Large scale Asuga. Gallery. Until we get more details, you can see the official website. It's larger than 1/8 scale Buggy. The word gnarly, which is cool. I don't see the pictures of it compared to anything else. What did the comments say? Look at the picture of it on Big Squid gives a better image of the size. I don't see the picture on Big Squid that gives a better scale size. I was on here earlier before we went live. I was looking at some of their different models and trying to see what I thought maybe how it kind of fit in. So we look at the ready to run models here. They got the Kronos XTR, the Skeeter XP, the Python XP 6S. They've got the Radix 6 XP6S. So my guess is it's bigger than these two because they've already got two buggies. The Dementor, the Kronos XP, Shogun XP, Jumbo XP, Radix 4S XP, Morocco XP, and the Punisher. So I'm guessing with the XLR name again, they've got two buggies already. Why is it when I click on this, it doesn't show me the Python? Just want to look at the Python. Oh, if I click on any of them, it doesn't take me anywhere. Oh, well, this is going to Kronos. Python. Nope. Interesting. Let's just search Python and see if the search will take me there. A poster for it. That's pretty wicked. English. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Let's try it again and see if he'll take us there. No, nothing. All right, let's just say Team Corelli Python and see if somebody else will take us to the page. So it's 1/8 scale too. That's what I thought. Might be a shop in Australia. What might that shop be in Australia? Razor RC had a teaser video where it's shown next to the Radix 6. Was it the one I just showed here? This one? Because that's not next to it. I mean, it is next to it, but it's not. If you wanted to have a visual of them for size, you'd do them straight on next to each other. Because when you pull one in front, like I can make. I need two items. Look at this 18th scale vehicle that I have here. But I have something new coming out. Look at how much bigger this one is, right? Than this. It's so much bigger. So that doesn't do anything for us. Shows XLR next to the Radix. So we can just see Razor RC YouTube. Pull it up now. How'd you guys like that demonstration though? That was pretty good. How I have a bigger SCX24 than TRX4M. Take that, Traxxas. You can take that. So he's got it. Oh, he's got some different photos. I see the intro video, and it's the same one that I just showed, though. But he had different pictures for sure. I might not have found them all. So yeah, this is it next to it, right? Radix 6 pulls in front of it. But that's what we're looking at. Just a teaser. So he's got a couple different images of it jumping, which is pretty cool. Lots of blue and red ones in the photos. I'd like to see more green ones. There's a green one. Cool. What's going on, Jeremy Smith? Yeah, sneak peek, RC Amigos, Pablo. Master of Filmography. I do have a master's degree in filmography. That's how we can be trickery like this, right? With my massive SCX 24s and my teeny tiny Traxxases. So it could totally be a 124 scale Asuga. And I mean, if I were them, that's where I'd be going, because that's where the rage is these days. Is those 124 scale is where people are wanting and they're buying. And if you do buy it, then you could get some of these wheels and make it nice and heavy for jumping with, because then you can like dent the ground when you land. It's pretty cool. Mid dash. How do I send the picture Tony's looking for? Where is it at? Did he send it? Is it on his community page? Does he have a picture of it? Not there. Not there. My Facebook. Looking at my. You go to Facebook and message it to me. I'm looking through my messenger now. I mean, I guess I could just search it on Facebook and see if other people have it. Or I guess I could just search. And is it on YouTube that Razor RC posted, or is it on Facebook or Instagram, or where? Just tell me where to look and I can find it. I'm pretty good. Mid dash. I sent it to your messenger and on Facebook. I've got like 3 messengers. Did you send it to the actual CCXRC page or to my Tony CCXRC Facebook, or, and then did it get tagged and hidden? That's the other question. Because I'm not seeing any incoming messages unless there's a hidden one. Don't see any. In my messenger, I've got stuff from other people. Adrian Marsham. Oh, here. Bingo. What's this picture? Oh, snap. It is bigger. Okay. Oh, yeah. You can email it to Tony@ccxrc.com, but I think I've found it. It's a tiny picture. We'll see if we can blow it up somehow here. I got to make sure that I'm not in a page I can't be on when I leave here. That's tiny. Can I find the picture bigger somewhere? It's definitely big. This is cool. Okay. There. It's not exactly how I wanted to do that, but there it is. That's not what I wanted either. Just close that out. Bam. So if you can see in this tiny little graphic, there's the 1/8 scale, and there's the XLR, and there's the width of them. So it's considerably bigger than the 8 scale Buggy. I can see how it sits between 1/6 and 1/8. But man, it almost looks 1/6 with that much of a size difference. It's like 1/6.5, 1/6.25. Is on the Team Corelli forum. That's cool, man. So here's this little sneak peek. New arms, looks like. It's a roller chassis, no electronics included. I was wrong. So the XLR is like the XTR, no electronics. That's a big slowdown for me. The whole finishing things is not something I'm very good at. I know it's simple. It's servo, electronics, whatever. But then I bought like, what did I put in that last one? Oh, that big old Castle ESC, and it didn't fit very well. And then, yeah, that kind of stuff. Now I'm getting another message here. But yeah, so that's been a little teased up. So that's on the web somewhere. Interesting. You can see all the stuff that I've been watching on YouTube if you so desire. But there's definitely a tease coming from them. Something new, something cool from Team Corelli. Big scale, bigger than 8 scale Buggy. But yeah, very wild. So we'll see kind of in the next day or two what this thing actually shapes out to be. But it looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. With the buggies, there's a whole bunch of control and just wicked good stuff, guys. So awesome to see Team Corelli coming up with new stuff for us, and excited to see how these things perform because people like the big RCs, and going bigger like that is yeah, it's cool. So we'll see exactly how big it is shortly from them, I'm sure, and they'll give us all kinds of specs and measurements and all that. So for now, we just have these images that are showing up today and little videos that are kind of making their way to the world, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So Swedish guy might be an I. Remember, this was an update in their page that shouldn't have been there. Not I, RTR, of course. Might be an RTR. Remember, this is an update on page that shouldn't have been there. Oh, so maybe that is not an actual post from them. He thinks they're going to release it tomorrow. So we'll see. Maybe they'll do both. You know, maybe they know people like me like the ready to runs, and they like their electronics. So, you know, we'll see. I would Google Corelli Asuga. And the Swedish guy knows everything. Google Corelli Asuga. RC Hobbies. Oh, I'm getting calls from outer space. I don't know. I don't see. There's no images, but there's some part stuff here. Oh, you guys aren't on this anymore. I left this page. So yeah, RC Hobbies is selling some parts for it already. Images coming soon. Let's see if we type in Asuga, what else pulls up. Lots of images coming soon. Swiss made. $182. Wonder what the pricing is going to be different. Oh, 7075 chassis. What? These are Australian prices, though. Well, Well, there's XL and XLR Asuga stuff. So maybe there will be ready to run, and maybe there will be the kit. Interesting. All the sneaks, but no photos. Come on, Australia. RC Hobbies. We need pictures. Here's something aluminum chassis. So this is something different. Oh man. What do we have here? Lots of sneaky stuff coming. Lots of sneaky stuff. All right. So what do you guys think? Scale wise, how big do you think it is? We know it's not 1/6 or 1/8, but do you think it's just 1/7, or do you think that there's like what would be above 1/7? So if seventh was or 1/6, if 1/6 was like 6/36, maybe it's like 7/36 scale, just a little bigger than 1/6 scale. 7/36. That's what I'm saying. Not very well. I'm saying, and I'm slurring my s's at 3:42 p.m. That ain't because of no drinking. That's for sure. Just my speech impediment here. RC Migos, I literally just got my package from CCXRC. Ooh. What did you get, Pablo? This is RC Conspiracies. How can I help you? Amigos, where's the new Arma? I haven't heard any rumblings there. Hey, Brian Koshner. Yes, midday. We said that RC Conspiracies is now just going to go live when we get information and teases. Also, did you guys see that new Losi? And that actually got leaked in RC Car Action early. I don't know if you guys have seen the February issue of RC Car Action, but they did have that Losi JX something. What is that thing called? The new one. JRXT 1/16 scale. If you guys haven't seen those, we'll just kind of quickly show this as well. Bink. It's cute. 169.99. I like those throwback tires, man. So good looking. Man, that would be a fun spec class to just have fun with. I should just order them. These are limited edition. There's 5,000 of them that they're going to have, and they're going to be stamped somehow. But it looks like the 1990 JRXT and the amazing artwork that it had back then. I love it. Yep, they're going to sell out. 5,000 of them. No 1/7 going after Arma. Arma doesn't have a 1/7 scale buggy though. So I don't think so. They're going bigger than Arma buggies. They're going bigger. That Losi is cool, but wish they were not limited. Yeah. So here's the thing with limited. If I were to get it, I probably wouldn't want to drive it because of that. But then I would anyway. And then I'd regret it later when I stopped having fun with it and be like, I wish I hadn't driven that. It looked better on the shelf now. But I'm glad I drove it when I did because it was fun. So that, yeah, if it wasn't limited, it would be way more fun to just make a class of them and just go nuts with the pin tires. And it's so fun. Like, but I don't want to just buy 3 of them now and run them all because I'd be like destroying 3 of the limited edition trucks. So yeah, it depends. There's a lot of collectors out there Limited, so you buy two. I did do that with that Arma Outcast Anniversary Edition. So everybody was going, I can't believe you're destroying that. And I've secretly had another one sitting on my shelf in the box. I was the guy that bought extra. I waited to give people a chance. I wasn't just going to buy them all up and like resell them on eBay, but I did wait. And when nobody else bought it within a week, I bought another one. So yeah. RC goes, woo, I got work to do this weekend. He's got some building to do. Male RC, my guess is it's a Kronos XCR with a larger buggy body and larger buggy tires. But I think there's some differences because the chassis got to be different because they're selling it as its own chassis for this. It's a different SKU. All those parts that we saw on that RC Hobbies were skewed for the XLR. So I kind of think that maybe there are some new parts. Yeah, like I did my Outcast, Chris. Yes, I did do that. Hey, I gave those Virginia Beach people several days to pick up those things, and when they didn't, I went to town and got it for myself because I'd already beat up the other one pretty bad. Yeah, but I do like the look of it a lot. But I would totally run it. I would. I wonder if they'll have the tires and stuff for it available, and you could just do they sell those tires already? Wheels and tires, or is that new? I don't follow this lineup enough. Oh man, hold on. I gotta go back to this. Look at this stuff here. The motor even on here. JR's Choice 42. I love that. Stickered up. So cool. Yeah, the rib tires and spiked tires. My question is though, are these spiked tires? And oh man, the old Team Losi kind of print on them. Like, I wonder if you can buy those parts. I guess we can look under replacement parts and see. So they've got the old looking motor. Because I'd be willing to maybe just even do one of the other buggies and just put those tires on them. Oh, they do. Interesting. Oh, and they got the bodies. So we could do our own schemes on them. Ugh, I don't want to be buying more stuff. It's the year of not buying more stuff. Ugh. You can buy all the parts. RC Guy Garage. Yeah. Time out. We're just going to hide this page for a minute while I'm not buying one online live for people that know what I'm doing or my wife to see. I'm just searching the web over here for a minute, you guys. So just hold tight while we do this. RC Mask Master, I disagree. I'm not even going to read the comment. I like you, RC Mask Master, but I'm not going to read that comment. I actually run all their stuff. Motors, receivers, radios, batteries, battery chargers, all of it. Although I did have the 3S motor, I did get a bearing to blow out like RC Guy Garage did. But my LMTs have been nothing but awesome. In fact, I just bought another. I still haven't finished one of my LMT rollers, and I have a new motor, and I bought the Spectrum one to go in it. And actually, if you guys watch Big America and all the cool stuff he does that with the stock motor electronic stuff for it. It's pretty crazy. They're awesome for those trucks. Wow. Do it, do it, do it. Hey, don't look at my glasses. I mean, you guys are a bad influence on me. I'm actually doing it right now. But I'm saying that you're a bad influence as I do it. And then I'm buying more tires too. So take that. You can't see. I'm using PayPal. That way you guys can't see my credit card info. Add to cart. The other thing I need to add to my cart is that new Losi. What do you guys think of that thing? Huh? Huh? I know. It's that cool. You know, I probably have enough points saved up that I could buy it with my points. Or I could pre-order it locally. Maybe I'll do that. I have a lot of points. So I'm going to do it this way because I did have a lot of points stored up. Enough to get one of these. So, da-da-da. Pretty crazy. That just means I've bought too much recently. Actually, I need to add. I won't do the PayPal for the last bit of it because it's a pre-order and they can't do it on a pre-order. You guys are a bad influence. Oh, yes, the wheels are finally on the site. Hey, what's going on, RC Nixer? The Losi RZR, yes. Yes. Let me close out of these pages here. And we'll pull up Losi. Actually, let's do it on the new Losi site. Their new Losi site is pretty good looking. They should have it here. Whoops. So I did not get this. I've been good about not getting everything. I did not order the new Pro from Axial that came out, even though after seeing it in person, it looks pretty fantastic. I did see that they have one in a shop here locally. I could, if I wanted, get one. I did get these. I was bad about that. See, and I didn't get this JRX2. Were these limited edition? I did not get these. I don't think they were. So the wheels and tires are a little different on that, but those are cool. But I definitely like the Truggy. Vehicles. We want to look at standard size. How are they doing by size? Is it not listed on their site? It might not be. I really do like the new. Oh, there they are. So I typically would get Fox things, but for this one, I'd totally go with the RZR for the Polaris branding on it. I don't know why. I think it's cool that they got a licensed Polaris one. It looks small when you look at it, right? It just looks really small. And then when you see it actually in videos and you see the scale of it, it's a big truck, or it's a big vehicle. I haven't even had time to look over all the features on this. 45 miles an hour plus on 3S. Now that is one thing I will say. $620 is a tough pill to swallow for a 3S vehicle. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the one caveat that I'll add to it. But they went scale with it. The suspension, I did see the suspension on it, and that they didn't just mimic their other stuff, that they built this thing from the ground up is pretty fantastic. And that's one of those things when people are saying that they copied Hemistorm, they've been working on this for a long time. To do, you can't just see his and then say, all right, we want to make one and throw it out there, especially when you're doing the custom suspension, just like the Polaris has, which is pretty cool. Um, I also like that it's body clips for a chassis like this that has a cage, like a UDR or even some of their vehicles, the Super Baja Ray. I'm looking at you. And any of them that have like the bottom loading battery trays. Not a fan. It's not why I don't have one of them. And I love Losi stuff, but I refuse to do all the screws and stuff to work on things like changing a servo and stuff like that too much. So there's still some things you do have to take apart to get fully inside, but I really like the way that they encapsulated the whole thing. I think even at 550, it'd be an easier sell. But I think they're still going to sell because of the market and um, the people that have razors and aren't into RC, but they see this and like, dude, that thing's wicked fast. They're not comparing it to other RCs. They're comparing it to, I have a razor and I just saw an RC razor that's wicked awesome. And oh, it's only $620. Again, comparatively to owning a real razor, um, I just think it's a different market. It's kind of like a Traxxas market as far as how they do it in their marketing in general. So, um, Axial Bomber is not one fun to work on. That's why I don't ever use mine or upgrade mine. Um, but this is like really, I mean, that rear suspension stuff is wicked. And the videos I've seen of it driving looks really cool. So yeah, body posts going downward like this into the chassis. I'm a big fan of. Couple pins, pop it off, still get the full scale look of a body in a cage, and then the easy access to the inside. Man, they've got like the whole cargo area there. Like the detail amounts are insane. Yeah, and then boom, you pop that stuff off, and I was wrong. You don't even have. You can access a servo straight away. Everything, all the electronics are right there. Uh, Now it may be a little bit tricky with some upgrades, I will say, as far as spacing and fitting things in here. And I wonder if this is going to be one of those 2S, 3S where you have to change out the pin on it in order to do the different height for the batteries, or how that works. Because it's not Velcro. It's using a tray to capture it. And it doesn't look like a super easy way to put Velcro in there. I'd probably do one of those stick-on Velcro ones that we use in the Traxxases instead of that, personally. Just for being able to fit in different battery sizes a little bit easier. You can see the sway bars coming in here. Pretty cool. XLR, yes. Razor, no, says Filthy Go. See, RC Master Man, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I don't know. Why is it so pricey? I think one is going to be the licensing. Two is there's a lot of molding going on here. So this isn't a typical like sand body. There's a lot of cost involved in all of these molds and this plastic that they've done, this injection molding. Um, so I think that's where we're seeing probably a lot of that go. Interesting that they do run an antenna up, wire up. Haven't seen that in a long time outside of the vehicle like that. But I love what they've done with it. I know that we love our Can-Am Juniors. And look at the molding here even. It's pretty cool. So I'm curious, I haven't seen the motor in it. Is it the same ones that they run in the Arma 3S vehicles with that Spectrum motor? Yeah, look at the suspension arms. I'm a fan of that. A lot. This is different than anything we've seen yet. But it prices it out of a lot of people's range for something like this. That's kind of a novelty RC, in my opinion, is what it is. RC Amigos easily 150 in plastic. RC Mixer, so 900 in Canada. Yeah. RC Amigos thinks it's totally worth it. And that's just awesome looking. I don't love the tires. I would have preferred something more like these with that kind of a grip on it. Any of these. And they went for like this turbo style, I guess. I guess it does match this pretty good. Yeah, so $35,000 version of it. So $600 doesn't seem like much, but you can see the suspension on these that they've mimicked is pretty cool. But they're definitely mimicking like the higher end when you look at the lights and everything and that front end. I think at least. Maybe I'm wrong, but it definitely has more of that look to me. I guess it could be that. This one's pretty big bull on the front of it. Yeah, so it's more like this with those street tires. So I guess they are scaled to it. I've only ever really seen people running these tires where we go. We don't do a whole lot of rocks and stuff, so it's more off-road tire, like mud tire, that kind of thing. So easy upgrade, but there's definitely has more of that street and rock look to it. Because it's definitely a scale tire. More along this line though. So very cool. Anyway, that was just a quick add-on. We finished talking about the other thing a little bit ago, and I realized we haven't spoke about this RC on here yet. And man, does it look awesome? Looks awesome. But yeah, Pat Smage, good to see an easy way to get the body off. Thought it was the same as Baja Ray, but looks much better. Oh yeah, man, 4 body clips and it's off. Was clearing more stupid snow, Chris Kelly. Man, we had ice like thick on our cars. It was just straight rain and slush coming from the sky yesterday. And so it's like quarter of an inch of ice just on the vehicles and on the tires, everything. And we had to go out there and break them open, start them, just let them run to get that ice because you weren't scraping that off. Uh, you know, you need a chisel basically. So, yeah. So, quick recap. What we were talking about was the new Asuga from Team Corelli, the XLR. We found some stuff over on RC Hobbies in Australia. They don't have pictures, but they are selling some parts here. So they've got bodies, rear arms, suspension arms, different things, chassis braces, some stuff that's a little bit, I'm guessing, different. So even shock towers and stuff have their own skew to these. So I'm guessing they're a little different. And it's new parts for this. I mean, there's quite a bit of parts listed for this. One of them was a 7075 chassis right here. Big numbers we looked at. Those are in Australian. So I believe. So yeah, there's that photo here kind of showing size. It's going to be between, it's bigger than an 8 scale. We don't know exactly what size it is. It's kind of all blurred out. So Razor RC was showing it. We looked at his. We looked at a few different pictures that they have. The XLR, green, blue, red color schemes, and then questions on whether we think it's going to be ready to run or a kit, or not a kit, a slider or roller, I guess. Not roll, assembled, but like the XTRs without everything in it. Will it be? We don't know. We're making assumptions on things at this point. Somebody thought maybe both. I think that'd be cool to do both. So we'll see. That's the new one. 73 here in Baltimore. The temp is 73. Yeah, so many things. 5th scale. They said it's between 6th and 1/6 and 1/8 scale. So I'm guessing a little bit bigger than a 7th scale, but not quite 6th scale. That's kind of my guess, but I'm not sure. Based on the pictures, it doesn't look like, I don't know. If it was 7th scale in parts of like a Chronos, that would make it technically larger as a buggy. So that's why I'm saying if they use anything from the others that are 7th scale truggies and whatnot as a buggy, that would make it a little bigger in actual scale, which would be 1/6 ish. I don't know. They said the price comes down in a year and a half once they pay off the molds and licensing cost. Dirk Burger says, "What's going on, Dirk?" They said the molds were tens of thousands of dollars. Yes, that's always the case. And the license was the most expensive they ever got. Yeah. I'm sure. And everybody wants it to be licensed. So they typically do their kind of stuff licensed through Losi. So yeah, there's usually some kind of branding and things on it. It's definitely a little bit pricier of a brand, where an Arma is, you know, they don't license things. They keep costs down. They give you a bunch of power, everything for decent prices, where Losi's is really about being a motorsports brand in a way. Like they're trying to be in with all those actual motorsports companies, and you see them licensing things, or, you know, doing King of Hammers, going to different events, real scale events, and trying to cater to that crowd. And so that's part of it. And so the costs are going to be, they're going to reflect that because of the game they're playing, right? The people they're trying to put their products in front of is in that game. And those people are used to, I mean, many of them are spending a ton of money on toys, technically, right? So really big toys that they go and beat up, that are 1-to-1 size toys. So they're used to spending money on stuff. Very true. I was watching Harley's. I didn't get to watch that. I saw at the very end. Yeah, Brian Nunez was on there. I like Brian a lot. But again, I was just guessing, just in what I've learned about the industry over the years, of just kind of being in it and doing YouTube and talking with different companies and things. And I kind of figured that pricing was going to be in molds as I was looking over it there really for the first time. I've been running, like, it got announced when I was at USTE and we were setting up and filming and doing all that. It was Thursday, because they do their releases on Thursdays. And so we were just fully there. And that whole weekend, I just ran. And then I came home, I dumped all my footage, I charged all my gear, I cleaned it, and we went out and we did it all again. And get there at 8 a.m. So I was out, up at 6, out the door at 7:30, there before 8, and then we'd run all day and then come back at about 6:30. We'd get home to the rental place, take the family, get them food, dump all the memory cards. And we're talking, so I'm shooting my Sony FS5 Mark II. And every day we're shooting over 128 gigs of stuff, filling multiple cards. That's on one camera. And then I was running my GH5 on a steady cam or a gimbal, and that would have 30 gigs on it. And then the drone, I flew a couple times. GoPro, we were doing time lapse on. So just so much stuff, trying to manage running these big batteries and charging all that up. You got to get them on the charger early. So yeah, I never had time. And I was editing like daily videos. I haven't been able to edit day 3 yet. That's coming. So there's a day 3 Sunday video. I shot the well, you can see the camera in the shot that I did. I can pull it up here. I haven't even downloaded it from my phone yet. So I'll give you guys a little teaser if I can get this dumb memory thing to stop playing. Making sure that I don't have anything in here. Yeah, so here's a 4-minute video walking my camera around at the end of day 3 USTE. Going around for the last couple shots. I had to get a couple more interviews at the very end. So that's what I look like most of the time. With that thing. Hours and hours and hours of that on my shoulder. But anyway, that was all to answer why I haven't seen it yet. And I've been playing catch up even still since getting back. So I still haven't dumped all the drone footage yet, actually, now I think about it. So I need to do that. At Ease RC, what's going on? Jeremy Kilburn, went on the trail with him at USTE, had a blast. His builds were amazing. Don't know if he's still in here. I'm seeing that comment was earlier. But yes, I need to go back and I need to watch that video with Brian Nunez and see what they're saying about it. I don't have the money right now to buy one. And that's reality. And that's, again, one of the things I've been trying to push. So I just on here was dumb and bought, you guys influenced me a little bit. Your bad influences to buy a car while I was here live. And so that happened. But I'm trying not to push that you have to get everything. Like, I don't have the money to buy it right now, so I'm not going to buy it. It's on my wish list. I think that Losi is going to be on my wish list. It's something I'll save for. But I have a bunch of parts that I have to buy to restock my inventory here. And so I'm going to be putting out, I have put out lots and lots of money this past week and 2 weeks to get new stuff in, and also to get products in that I want to test, and things like that. So, yeah, we're trying to keep it still small and only really carry the things that I use. There's a couple things that I wanted to get that, one, because I wanted them for myself. And so, yeah, Spectrum battery connectors that go to XT60s from EC5. So things like that. A couple things in large quantities to just have around for myself to be able to grab when I lose the ones that I inevitably lose, and then also to just sell on eBay, whatnot. But lipo bags is something I'm working on getting in because I used to use the Venom ones, and with Venom not being around, I thought I'd just get some CCXRC lipo bags made up, and so those will be coming. And yeah, a couple other things. Not gonna tell you everything. The Mighty Eagle servo is something I have told you about, and I'm really excited about that. So that's coming. Um, but I need to just restock a few things. Like people have been buying brass axles like crazy. So my black brass axles are almost out of stock. And so I need to get more of them on order. And that was not cheap because I have to buy them because I have mine made different than the ones that they just sell everybody. Um, so I needed to go through a certain company and the cost is a little higher because of the changes I made to them. So yeah, anyway, all that. How's your back and hip after all that? Back and hip are fine. The drive was the worst part. Um, and that was more just lower back from sitting in the car for 16 hours because we left USTE at 6:30 after the giveaways, and we busted out of there, drove 6 hours, got to our hotel at 1 a.m. in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So that day was stinking long. Um, and then got up and left the hotel at 7 a.m. and drove what should have been 10 hours, turned into like 13 hours because of traffic and accidents and stuff. So not good. But yeah. Yes, RC Amigos. I have just rears. If you order just we'll talk. Order just the front for now and it'll flag me for it. And I'll reimburse you because the rears don't cost as much as the fronts. So I'll just PayPal you back $5 or refund it when it orders. So yeah. But yeah, so that big old camera. Actually, here's what's funny. It's still broken down. But that big old camera breaks down to super small. Well, it's not super small, but it's smaller than that whole rig. The rig just makes it easier to manage for long days like that because carrying out in front of you, or even the gimbal when I was running that and you're holding it out and it's on a stick, so it's like, I mean, it gets tiring quick. Where this is on your shoulder, it doesn't tire you out as fast actually. So way better. Jeff Skirkis took me 17 to get back to Connecticut. Yeah, it's brutal. As Brian said, wait a year, then the price will drop once they've recouped the tooling costs. I don't think I want to wait a year for it. Sometimes that's the thing, the cost of getting in early. Because, yeah, if everybody waits, the prices won't go down either, right? They won't sell through the original stuff and the tooling won't be absorbed. And then with the way things are going, where every price is going up with shipping and all that stuff, who knows? Whatever happened to all those Mashigans? I think they became Atlases. That's what everybody keeps joking. I don't know that for sure. Xavier, what's up, man? Or Javier. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm Xavier. What gimbal do you use for the FS5? You can use like the big Ronins and stuff like that. I don't gimbal this. I gimbal a GH5. I have a smaller Panasonic that I use for gimbal work. But if you keep this small, you keep the top handle off and you run a small lens. I have the big, like, there's even for the lens that I have, there's different variations of it. I have the more expensive one that is just way better, but it's much larger. It's a 3-pound lens, but you can get them that are tiny and kind of, they're close, but the quality of the big lens that I use on it is insane. Plus the ability to have, I like having the aperture directly on it. And then it's all set for focus wheels and you don't have to add on rubber rings around them to do a focus pull wheel. Plus, there's a manual adapter where it actually is repeatable instead of being electronic or fly by wire focus. It's actual. It has stop points, like it's repeatable, and you can put marks on and roll it and nail focus every time for like cinema type stuff. So yeah. You're keeping the wheels, dude. The wheels are nice. The wheels are real nice. And I used a electric driver to put on all the screws on mine, and I didn't snap any off like you do with some of them. So these are a little bit nicer head that come with these. In my opinion, I still say be very careful. I don't warranty people breaking off the nuts or the bolts in these things because you're either cross-threading it or you're over-tightening it and snapping them. Put a little thread lock on. Don't need to tighten them down. They're just for looks mainly. It does hold the ring on there, but you don't need them tight by any means. So that last section of camera talk was unrepeatable. I probably said some stuff in there that had multiple meanings. Anyway, but yeah, this thing's awesome because it's variable ND in it. Don't have to do it on the lens. That's the other reason you're just filming with these. You have all your features and buttons and things that you need to push right here. So pretty awesome. You get the little handle, especially the way I have it down. You can zoom mine by it's power zoom. Not that you want to use it for zooming necessarily push in, but just to quickly get in and out without having to, you never have to reach up to the lens that way. It's pretty cool. What to use for RC charger? I use Spectrum and Genzace. So for all of my Spectrum smart batteries, I run the Spectrum chargers. And then I have one of the Genzace. In fact, I have a new Genzace that just came in. I could show you guys. But I use the iMars Dual. It's cool because it comes with the XT60s and then adapters off of that. Pretty much everything you'd want. Charges 2 batteries at a time. Dig it. But they now have a smart charger as well. And it's one that you can use with a USB-C. So you could charge it off of pretty much anything. They're super small chargers. Kind of like that Spectrum one I had. That's smart. But you basically hit charger storage on there. So this is their mini. Awesome. It's just USB-C. So you could charge it off a computer, power cable if you want to just buy this, or you could use one of your car cigarette lighter adapters to this and charge it that way. These are awesome and handy. I wouldn't use, I personally, I have too many RCs. I would not use this as my main charger. If I just had one, I would. But this is awesome for just on the go, out bashing, whatever. Throw it in your car if you just need to top something off at the track, whatever. Plug in, and you can plug into a battery charger, a separate battery, charge them that way. But yeah, comes with a bunch of adapters here to IC or EC3 and EC5 in there. And there's a model that comes with a power supply for it that costs more. And there's one that comes without a power supply. So you just get this to plug into your own. Like I got to unplug my Mac computer right now. I could plug this in with the same power cable and use it as a charger. So, but yeah, how about the SCX24 batteries? I use my, well, it's over here. Questions I can answer. Almost dropped my camera, another camera. I have the old S2100 charger, and I just run their little adapters that are the IC3 to the JST plug or whatever they call it. JSTPH. All right, so you have the RC hotspot. Yeah, Pat. So the FS5, when you get them now, if you get one, I mean, you can get them fairly inexpensively, comparatively. The FX6 came out, which replaces this, and it's a full frame. So this is like a Super 35 or APS-C size, and still awesome for video. Everybody's just chasing the full frame because that's what the still camera guys love. You do get more depth of field, in my opinion. For video, you get too much sometimes, and when they start using it, it starts looking like DSLR footage instead of cinema. Like the real movie guys know enough about stuff that they never just open it all the way up and just lose all sense of reality by having zero background, everything being so bokeh out you can't tell what's what. You don't see that in movies. Like, so for people started getting into the habit of calling that cinematic. It's not cinematic. It's the opposite of cinematic. The whole point is they want a little bit of separation, but they almost never. So it actually looks cheap. We've gone the other way, where when you got no separation in the background because everything was in focus, that looked like video. Cheap to me. We call it cheap. That looked cheap. Now DSLR looks cheap to me because you don't really have the people, our iPhones, whatever, do, but they look decent, but now you get the people that just go like 1.2 on everything, and they're not using it at distance. They're using it where like it's just a complete smooth color background and there's no detail or any sense of reality behind. So it's a different type of cheap that's being created, in my opinion. So even when you're watching like NFL or whatever, now they cut to that cam with the guy on the steady cam, and it just feels like you've jumped into a different world. It's because they've changed the whole type of filming that they're doing from TV broadcast NFL to, this, low f-stop, full frame look. So it's different. There's too much depth. It's kind of jarring when you jump from one to the other. But anyway, that's all camera talk. And I could get into it forever. But I do like I like depth of field. I don't like how much depth of field people go to these days. And I fell victim to it when I first got the DSLRs because we had these awesome lenses for photography and whatnot, and we were going crazy. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up since we got kind of off topic. But yeah, those are the chargers I use. I have the new G2 chargers, which you just plug in and it just charges them. I don't use those for these mini ones really anymore. I'm mainly, you can, but I use these cheaper S2100s for it. You could do the same thing with this if you get an adapter. These come with the adapter actually to the IC3. And so you can plug in here the adapter and then plug this adapter into it, and you're double adaptering to it. But technically, I don't always tell people this, but the XT60 in these, you can actually just force it in here and they'll work. So you could charge it with it. Maybe not this one. Actually, not this one. So don't do that. That one won't fit. But I do it with batteries all the time. The other way it works. All right. I'm going to sign off, guys. Thanks for tuning in as always. And we'll catch you next time. See ya.